Britain's King Charles kicked off his state visit to Kenya this morning. The 4-day trip is being billed as a chance to build on the modern-day ties between London and Nairobi. But the king is also facing widespread calls for an apology over Britain's bloody colonial past. Well, for the latest on the king's visit, let's bring in France 24's Olivia Bizot in Nairobi. Olivia, first of all, what's on the agenda for this 4-day trip?
Yeah, so on the agenda for this 4-day trip is that King Charles and his wife, Queen Camilla, are going to be doing the things that they usually do on trips at home and abroad. They're going to visit local conservation efforts. They're going to encourage entrepreneurship. They're going to meet lots of young people, plant trees, which they've already been doing this morning. But the king is also expected to do something that no one in his family has done in Kenya. Buckingham Palace said that he is expected, or that he will acknowledge the painful aspects of the shared history between the UK and Kenya. During the Mau Mau rebellion against the British Empire in the 1950s, more than 10,000 people were killed. It's widely seen as one of the most brutal episodes of Britain's colonial past. And that's why the royals are being welcomed with mixed emotions here in Nairobi. In 2013, the British government did provide compensation to the Mau Mau for the damages of the past. But what the Mau Mau are saying is that they want a formal apology. That compensation that was provided 10 years ago is not enough. But the Mau Mau aren't the only ones who want compensation and who want an apology. A few weeks ago, I was in Kericho County, where I spoke to people from the Talai and Kipsigi communities, and they say that they want compensation from the British for the land that was stolen for them to plant tea. So the demands are really endless across Kenya. So King Charles is sort of walking on a tightrope. He knows that if he apologises, it could open the door for more demands of reparations. And the royal family is also really wanting to avoid a public relations nightmare like the one that Prince William faced last year when he was in Jamaica.
So, Olivia, as you say, this is a very symbolic trip for many reasons. Talk us through the importance of all of this on both sides.
Yes, this is a very important trip for the UK and for Kenya. This is King Charles's first state visit to an African nation. It's his first time to a Commonwealth country since the beginning of his reign. Some have called Kenya the first stop on the king's mission to save the Commonwealth, which is incredibly important in this post-Brexit world. Now, a lot of the Kenyans that I've spoken to across the country have said that they're not too fussed about the king arriving. There's not much enthusiasm. When I went to go pick up the newspaper this morning, the royal visit wasn't even on the front pages of most of the newspapers. And that really shows that King Charles has a lot of work to do. He's here to really reinforce the diplomatic and the historical ties between the UK and Kenya. He's also wanting to reinforce the economic ties between the two countries. The UK heavily invests in Kenya. There are a huge amount, over 150 British companies operating here in Kenya, and they have been doing so for decades. But Kenya's President William Ruto also has a huge incentive to make this trip a success. He's currently facing a huge debt crisis, and he's really wanting to showcase his drawing power.